Hello everybody, Kerry Shuck here alongside Carter Baum. Now Carter, another back and forth game. The Barons get the victory though, 6-5 over San Antonio.
Yeah, they came out really strong against the San Antonio team that had a long night of travel last night. They got out to a 3-0 lead, but as Coach Nelson said in the postgame, their legs just kind of gave out. Third game in 3 days. San Antonio coming in, having only played 8 minutes of hockey this weekend, really refreshed once they got their legs under them in the second period. They came back, they got 5 straight goals to make it a 5-3 game, and then late in the third period, Brandon Davidson with the equalizer and the go-ahead goal in the last minute. I believe 35 seconds left on the clock when he scored the go-ahead goal, and the Barons win 6-5. They definitely like to make it interesting.
They definitely do. I mean, more gray hairs in my head. One quick thing about Brandon Davidson, what's always so funny, whenever he comes off the ice, he always asks us, hey, do you need a 4th star? Do you need a 4th star? And tonight we had to stop and say, hey, you're the number 1 star. So
you should have just let him keep walking and trick him a little bit. He should have. He obviously knew he was a star getting the last 2 goals, but should have. No, you can keep walking. You're not a star.
It's not you, sir.
What'd you do tonight?
Well, it's a big weekend. I mean, playing 2 of the hottest teams in the league and coming away with all 6 points. I mean, the Barons, you can't ask for anything better than that.
A huge weekend. They come into the weekend sitting in 11th place in the Western Conference. You know, a good number of points out of the playoff race. They're still 5 points out of the playoff race with Milwaukee winning earlier this afternoon, but they now have a full 3-point cushion between them and San Antonio. They sit in 9th place, San Antonio in 10th, so they're building that little cushion. They've got to keep going on this roll. They got to get a little help from Milwaukee, who's trying to pull away a little bit, but you know, if they keep playing like they do, like they have this weekend, just an incredible weekend, they have a good chance going forward.
One thing that will definitely help them keep going is the power play. Once again, scoring off the power play with Arcabello out there, he just seems to get the puck in the right spot, and then players are getting the right spot as well for rebounds.
Yeah, we saw first here this afternoon with the power play, Arcabello shot the puck from the point or from the dot like he's done 4 times previous this weekend, but earlier it was either Arcabello getting the goal or Ford with the screen in front. This one this afternoon, Arcabello shot it. It went off of Ford, and then Roman Horak was able to pick up the rebound. So they like to change it up on us a little bit, but it was still the same basic play. Arcabello getting that shot from the dot that just, it's their go-to play, and 5 goals off of it this weekend. A huge success, and someone's got to figure out how to stop it.
You think Horak's been watching the last couple nights and thinking like, hey, if that comes off Ford just right, I'm going to sneak in there.
He's been sitting in the slot just going, oh, come on, guys, just don't have such a good shot. Let me get something, but they came to him today, and he was able to put it in the empty net and get on the board early in the first.
Tonight was his night. Well, now the trade deadline looms, so we got to see like what we're going to be going on with the rest of the season and see what the Barons are going to do.
Yeah, with every team as the trade deadline nears, whether they're expected to be movers or not at the deadline, you know, you always think with the last home game before the deadline, this could be the last game you see out of some players. You know, you have to think that about maybe some Barons. You never know what Edmonton's going to do, whether someone on the ice here is going to be traded or whether a move up there is going to relay a call up for one of these players. You never know. You know, Coach Nelson kind of alluded to it in the post game, said, you know, just kind of got to work with what you got. They've done it all season long. It's something we've talked about before, but you know, they've done it all season long, and it's kind of a wait and see at this point to see what Edmonton does. You know, no one on this staff has any control of what happens here.
You've said before, weathering the storm, and they've done that all season, so now they know what they have to do, and no matter who's here, that's what they're going to have to do to get the victory. Well, now the next play, Utica, going on the road after they're having to leave home, even though they've played so well here, have to go play the Comets.
Yes, I think it's 8 unbeaten now at home, a franchise record on home ice, but they go on the road. They play Utica for the first time in Utica. You know, we saw Utica in here in January, a game that went into overtime, and you know, it got the Barons started on that hot streak, you know, that we saw earlier this year that just ended recently. But I mean, it's going to be a good test, and it's another game they have to go in there and win. Utica, one of the teams right in there in a very tight Western Conference that really anyone has a shot as if they get hot in the last couple weeks.
Well, with the trade deadline looming and everything like we talked about before, you and I will be there to tell everybody what's going on, so I'm glad that we'll be able to bring that to everybody as it comes along.
I've told my agent I would not like a trade. I want to stay right here. I'm not going to waive my no trade clause.
During the radio interview, some of the people had talked about the trade deadline. I'm like, Well, I sure hope I don't get traded because I can't stand the cold weather up north.
Yeah, you're struggling with it today. It's a little cold outside, and leaving the office last night, you took a nice little spill. But, we talked about last night. I do want to bring up, we talked about last night. You didn't fall skating yesterday.
Yeah.
But man, you put some ice outside the office, and you're like Bambi out there.
Right on the manhole cover. I have a broken elbow. Well, whatever. I still showed up for the game.
That's how you rub some dirt on it and persevere.
Well, I appreciate it. Everyone, Carter Baum. He'll be here all week. For Carter.
Maybe.
Trade deadline, we don't know. I might not be here. It might be just Carter next time. All right, well, for Carter and the maybe traded Kerry Shuck, Barron's TV.